Hey everybody, and welcome to a very short outside workout. It just rained, and I feel like doing a mild workout because tomorrow I'm going to be doing a really heavy set workout. If you hear drumming in the background, that's my neighbors like banging on the drums or a makeshift drum. So I have this custom built apparatus I want to try out first, and the main thing I want to try out is trying to do some pseudo bench presses with this. So it kind of acts like this, except kind of need to push outward a little bit like that. And you would think that would be relatively easy for me, but ironically, it's not that easy. And that's just mostly because the way this arm works. This arm can fully extend. This arm can only half extend, so I don't get the same like pull power that this arm can give. And it can feel off at times. Alright. We're going to do another set of like 10 for that. I would love to do some like benching with this, because ironically it actually does work for benching, but to do that I need to shorten this, so I would have to take this off and put it on that, and I don't really feel like doing that right now because I do have a bench press right over there. But the funny thing is about that as well, is I can actually feel the activation right here in my forearm when I do that. And the biggest reason I made this little custom apparatus for this machine is this reason right here. Because I wanted to be able to do bicep curls on this machine like this. That's the main reason I created this little apparatus. To be able to do like bicep curls and forearm training. Because sitting down like this, it trains mostly my forearm. But if I stand up like this, keep my feet closer to the bench, and do it, that's training both my forearms a little bit and my biceps. Like, there's a big difference between resistance training and free weight training or heavy weight training. And that is something I really do hate, because the wind blowing is kind of a problem. We'll be right back. Which is why I came up with this little device. Sorry if it jump cut. So I have a little mini apparatus that I made to keep the camera from falling off of its tripod when it's windy. And I probably should have started the video with this, but it wasn't supposed to be really windy, so I did not anticipate. But let us finish the set I was working on. Now we can go directly into the seated rows. I'm moving forward a little bit is not only do I get a good stretch from all positions, but, or a stretch in all like positions. It also kind of loosens my hamstrings a little bit, so that if I do a leg workout after, I don't have to do as much stretching. Plus, it's a good idea, instead of staying always static like this, because a lot of people stay static when they're working out, including me. Like, I am notoriously known for like staying static and moving like this. But instead of staying perfectly static, it's kind of good if you can move during a workout, even if a little bit. I can always go back and keep my back straight and get an even more intense pull from here instead of a little bit up. And then go back down, get a good stretch going, and then come back up. makeshift apparatus seems to be pretty damn good, I'm not gonna lie. Now, I can move this little robe. I want to try something, because I want to try this. There we go. Take this off. Keep that back there. Move my weights back here a little bit. And I wish this folded back, like if you wanted to do squats, I kind of wish this would unhook and then fold back and snap. That would have been a quality of life improvement greatly. A great quality of life improvement. But now what we're going to try to do is we're going to try, I think they're called Zercher squats, but we're going to try some Zercher squats using this. But I'm going to try to do it down here. Go down and then pull back up. That's actually exhausting. You can also do something else that I want to try. Just seeing the possibilities of this attachment. But up a little bit, or rather down. I need to find like a better way to have these clips on. It is kind of a pain in the ass to get these off. But let's put it down here. And if my spacing is correct, should be able to some squats with this, like actual squats. And if this works like I think it's going to, which I'm hoping it's going to, that should work. Yeah, that's not going to work. There's not enough tension release in these bows. Experimentation. Experimentation. My things fell off my head. I need to invest in the headsets that kind of latch onto your head for workouts. Not tightly, but they kind of suction cup to your head and they're heavier. But I often find the problem with those is they give me a headache because they're so tight around your ears that it's just painful. Let's do another set, but this time right here. See, now we can raise it higher up, which means now we can move back here and actually target the biceps more. by going up a little bit more, or stand right here. And these are targeting the biceps more. Yeah, that's targeting the biceps more. Could also do something like this, but that doesn't feel like it's actually activating anything. So I think doing the surgical squat from this position, except trying to make it a little even, like here, and then pulling back up. I think that's really good. If only I can find good placement for my feet. I mean, I can feel it. I can feel it in my core and my legs. Strange enough, mostly my calves. So this isn't really targeting my quads all too much. And then when I'm done, I can either lay it down right there, or what I prefer to do is put it up there. Just because up here, it doesn't conflict with anything down there. And when I have this attached, I don't have to worry about reaching in between and grabbing. Hook this in, like that, lay it down, and we got our bench back. And you see why I put it up here instead of here. Because with the bench on it, wanted to go under there. Another thing I could do, which I haven't tried, I thought about like being able to remove this, and then I can still flat bench right here. I was thinking of putting some like wooden rods or rods. Rod. When I think of rod, I normally think of metal rod, but a wooden rod isn't impossible. But I was thinking of putting some rods right here and anchoring them in the gravel, and then building an apparatus that when I raise my barbell with the weights on it, I could hook it here and then put it back down here. But then it occurred to me I would have to build it like right here, and that would probably conflict with all the cables and stuff, because if I just put it right above me, then when I tried to raise up like that, I would just end up hitting my head on the bar. So, which is why I think for now, grabbing these and doing it like this is probably better. because I can always put the weights down and then resume from something from a different angle. Also, I just thought of something. This might not work, but I kind of want to see if it does. Kind of want to see if this works. So what if I could get this over my head like that and do pulls like this, like that. Damn, that's really tough. And then it's pulling me back. I could probably make up an ab workout with this, but do like this, except maybe pull back a little, so back here, and I could do lat raises. Got to get work on my hand placement though. That's actually really difficult. I'm not going to lie, this is really difficult. Oh shit, that's making my muscles burn. Like that. So pulling it upwards isn't the hard part. That's not the hard part. The hard part is bringing it back down with the resistance also pushing against you. So when here's what I'm trying to explain. When you're doing free weights, so if I were to raise that above my head, the difficult part is from here, raising it to here. This part gets astronomically easier than having it here. And then when I'm lowering it, you feel the release, and then it gets extremely easy. And then it becomes harder when you have it down here, and then you want to raise it here from this motion right here, and then back up. With this, just holding it right here has resistance. Even back here, there's massive resistance when holding it up here. Even down here, there's still resistance. Down here, if I'm gripping it, there's actually still a little bit of resistance. If it's right here, there's no resistance. So it becomes difficult once I get here. Once I get here, it becomes really difficult. Pushing it out like this becomes really, really difficult. And then fully extending above here becomes next to impossible. So there isn't really a release of tension on your body. Your body is under tension until you let it go, having it rest right here where there's absolutely no tension. So whereas trying to do a lat raise, the most difficult part is actually raising it above your head. The entire process with this little apparatus I made, the entire process is difficult. And then my form becomes bad because my muscles are already strained. Yeah, just doing 5 of those and I'm already dripping sweat, and it's actually not that hot out here. It's only about right now it's about maybe 80, 78 degrees. And just doing those 5 workouts is causing me to drip sweat. For consideration, none of the other workouts I did up until this point caused me to sweat. So I know my body needs to work on certain areas. When my body says, hey, you're not good at this, I'm going to make you perspire like crazy. But if I wanted to move up a little bit, I could also do this. And that is also difficult. That's actually kind of cool that when I put it over my head, it kind of rests back in the same position. The funny thing is I got another PVC pipe over there, so if this one ever breaks, I can just make a new one. But I think that's going to be all for this particular machine. I want to do a set of 10 reps over there, so if I put the camera in the proper position, I shouldn't have to stop the recording. I can just walk around. And then if we have enough time, we'll do 15 minutes on the exercise bike. So now we go over to this machine, and it's still damp from the rain. So grab my little towel rope, lay it on here. I've never really been one to worry about being judged or anything. So if someone thinks this is a weird idea, put a towel across your bench, just know that I'm not the actual one that came up with this. Ironically, there were bodybuilders at the gym I used to go to that would always do this to keep the sweat from getting on the bench. Even though I always thought that was weird, because if you have a towel that gets sweaty and nasty while you're working out, not only is that sweat trapped in the towel, which causes smell, but it also will still leak through the towel and land on the bench, or whatever you're resting your body on. So it's still beneficial if you wipe down that area after you use it, and not just plop your towel down and say it's good to go, depending on how wet that towel gets with sweat. Now, we do a set of 10 reps for this. See, this is leagues easier to do than the exercise I was just doing. That was leagues easier to do. Just doing that, I did start sweating towards the end of the set, and I think I did 12 there, just because I think I miscounted one set, and I think I did 11, or I did 3, and then I started over and did 1, 2, 3, so I added an extra rep. So I just added another extra rep to make it 12. And see, just doing the few exercises that I did do just now, I feel like my entire body is burning except for my quads. There is absolutely no tension in my quads, but my calves are burning. My entire arm is burning. My chest can feel some activation here. I have a little bit of core activation, but not a lot. I love this machine, and I love trying to figure out workouts to do with this machine. I've probably missed 20 different exercises I can do, and that doesn't even include the little apparatus I did for this. Also, I'm very puzzled at how I did this. I think this is actually turned around. Yeah, that's how I did it. This was just turned around properly. But yeah, this machine has been an absolute godsend, and I am so glad I got it. But that's gonna do it for this particular recording. We're gonna see how much time we have left, and if we have enough time, we'll probably do a quick leg workout on the exercise machine or exercise bike. Thank you all for watching this terribly done outside workout video. Take care.